mountains and moors. This is Brian Kelso Crow inviting you to join me for Celtic Connections.
Listen to Celtic Connections every Saturday afternoon at 1 on KSJE 90.9 FM, Farmington.
Hi, this is Sergio Mialnichenko with the Brazilian Hour. I would like to invite you to join me every week with the best and most exciting music of Brazil. Every week, right here.
Tune in the Brazilian Hour every Saturday night at 11 on KSJE Farmington.
How do you know what to make of the news? Is it politically inflected? Is it stenography? Is it just plain untrue? On the Media helps you decode the news. We reveal the process behind the story because there's sometimes as much to be learned from the gathering as from the news itself. Please join us.
Saturday mornings at 7 on KSJE Farmington. This program is supported by San Juan Health Partners Urology, providing a wide range of personalized services for the whole family, including children. Our caring professionals are dedicated to helping meet your urology health needs with skill, experience, and service you need. For a complete listing of our services and to learn more, visit sanjuanhealthpartners.com or call 505-609-6300. San Juan Health Partners Urology, a division of San Juan Regional Medical Center. 8:38, KSJE, you're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks to our viewers who are watching us on our KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're giving you a look earlier this morning at the snow-covered Durango, Colorado area, where schools are, at least Fort Lewis College is under a delay this morning after some overnight snowfall. We had the rain here in Farmington, but certainly snow to our north, and it's nice to see because in the forecast we have a chance of rain or snow for the next several days. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the next 10 days. And Mayor Duckett is here to agree with me.
That's the best picture I've seen all week.
Look at that, right?
I mean, that is just a great, and I hope it comes true.
Yeah.
But I know the rain yesterday was fantastic. You know, it's interesting. We saw in the Daily Times this past week, they actually did a full page about a storm that didn't bring much precipitation. It must have been a really slow day.
That's a slow day. Yeah.
At the news station.
Ouch.
When you tell a story about a storm that didn't bring much precipitation.
Right. But it brought some, which I think is the thing. And after our weather year last year, people are very thrilled to see any kind of precipitation in the mountains and even here in the valley to kind of replenish the earth and the dirt and get us out of that severe drought designation.
That's right. So we're still in exceptional drought, but snowpack right now is over 100%.
Of average.
Which is great.
Right.
We're of course, you know, David Cipher, who's our Public Works Director, very conservative gentleman and wants to make sure that he's built in contingencies for different scenarios. And we're still in stage 1 of drought because we're still in exceptional drought.
Right.
But let's see what April, May looks like for snowpack, because that's when that really matters as far as the supply that's going to be in the river, and we're going to go from there. But these, I mean, just to be able to see that much precipitation on the forecast is definitely a good thing.
And again, if it doesn't rain here but snows up north, I'm okay with that too.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
Although my trees took a beating this past year, I'm not going to lie.
Yes, and my lawn, and yeah.
I had to chop down
what's
a couple trees.
What's left of it, but yeah. But that's okay because we're all in this together. But it's exciting to see, and I know a lot of folks were concerned if we had 2 really bad drought years in a row, that hurts.
It does.
A lot.
Right.
And so it's nice to be able to see maybe the lake fill back up, both Navajo and Farmington Lake, and give us that insurance policy for future years, which is why they're there.
Lake Nighthorse.
Exactly. Speaking of lakes and parks, I want to ask you a bit about a park ranger plan that the City Council approved this week, correct? Just a few days ago.
So when we had talked about the Community Transformation and Economic Diversification Fund, one of the items that was in there was increased security in downtown and in our parks. Obviously, since I've been elected official, one of the biggest concerns that people present is the fact that they don't feel safe in downtown Farmington. And if we're going to do economic diversification down there. And of course, we're investing a lot of money in the Downtown Complete Streets project. We've just invested a lot of money into the Civic Center
Right.
remodel. So how do we change that perception? How do we create some safer areas? And Farmington Police Department brought to us a recommendation to add 6 park rangers, not full-time officers. Park rangers would fit in with the park ranger model we have now, but you're going to see them 7 days a week in downtown, at Berg Park, at Farmington Lake, at Brookhaven Park, at Brookside Park. Those were kind of the main areas. So that we're going to have that additional security in those places and allow for officers to interact with the people who are on the trails and in the parks and in downtown. And I think we'll learn more about things having those eyes on the street.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, and this is something that the police department feels they can afford to do and
this
figure
is
out a way to
coming
pay for it, right?
Well, this is coming out of the CTED fund. So this is coming out of the $4.4 million that we created this year. So yes, it's coming out of the Economic Diversification Fund.
Got it. Okay, so you can pay for it.
We are paying for it.
Right.
Absolutely.
But that is the fund, and I just want to point this out to our listeners and audiences, that the City Council approved as a way to raise a small percentage on gross receipts taxes to pay for some of these things that would go towards economic development, economic diversification,
Sure.
things like that you are now putting to use.
And we've already been able to see some of that with the, blight removal was one of those things that was also on our list of
Right.
community transformation, and the old Graves Oil facility on Pinning and Miller, which had been a number of different things over the years, but it was a disaster. It was a danger for the public. It was a danger for individuals who were wanting to live and sleep in there. It was a danger to the fire department, and we managed to raise that, and
now it's
level it,
gone.
and now it's gone.
Right.
And now we're looking for potential people to move into that property and use it for new things.
Good.
Obviously, you see all these things kind of taking shape, and
But that's what that money is there for.
That
That's
is what
the
it's there
idea,
for.
right? And
Right.
so residents can kind of see some
Warren Unsicker is
results.
being paid out of that fund too. So our
Right.
economic development director, the outdoor recreation director, Corey Styron, and I'll tell you, I mean, they're running fast into this new area. I mean, this is a brand new thing for the city of Farmington to really be focused on economic development, and it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's some very exciting things that are coming up.
Well, and as I said before, the city has done its homework, I think, in putting its money where its mouth is to say we want to do all these things and not just say let's just do them, but also put some money to say here's some tools to help you get this accomplished.
Yeah, it's great to sit around a table with a bunch of people and do a bunch of public input sessions and talk about what you want to do and where the gaps exist that would help grow the economy, and then just sit there and go, well, who's going to pay for it? And there was nobody really paying for it on the level that it needed to be done, and so we have stepped up, and we're going to. There's a lot of information that's going to be coming out. A strategic planning session with the council will be happening here soon, just to talk about all the different the projects and their ability to bring people to Farmington.
Right.
That's what this is all about. Creating the environment where people want to live, work, play, and stay. That's the mission. So it's exciting to be able to have that fund there. And I said this the other night. Public Land Solutions is trying to develop some trails, world-class trails for mountain biking and off-roading, things that we can market outwardly to bring people here, and to sit in a room where you've recognized these are fresh faces now that are coming out for some of these public meetings.
Nice.
It was
Not the same old people.
It was the same people for a lot of the stuff for the first few years for Ori. This meeting was different. And we had 100 people come out over 2 days to these public meetings, and a lot of faces I had never seen before. One particular gentleman who I appreciated, he was like, man, I just can't believe that we're doing this. I can't believe that we're really trying now. And I love that. I love that we've been a component of change and positivity, and regardless of all those things that go on in Santa Fe, this is just a rough time to be a mayor in northwest New Mexico. So forgive me for my doom and gloom earlier. We got to be forward thinking, we got to be forward looking, and we've got to be carrying our community with us. But our community is now starting to carry itself. And I think that's going to be the big shift here when you start seeing 501c3s pop up that are raising private funds to invest in ARC studies out on the BLM and signage and things that are going to, maps and things that are actually start helping people jolt their journeys, but give what is the jolt?
Right.
It needs to be there. And these groups are bringing us a lot of great information. I couldn't be happier.
Very exciting, Mayor. And the last topic I want to ask you about before we run out of time, we have about maybe 5 minutes left, is something that is kind of breaking news, which is news about our airport.
Yeah, so
in the city of Farmington.
So people know. I mean, obviously, we've been working. Mike Lewis, who's airport manager of the year, by the way, of an airport without a commercial airliner in it. Mike has been diligently working, even when Great Lakes was here, of trying to provide other air service in and out of the airport. And of course, with the FAA rules that happened 4 or 5 years ago that ended up
different regulations now, so that's why we don't see
facilitating the pilot shortage, which is what killed regional airlines all across the country, and a number of regional airports didn't make it. But where we needed to be was an extension of our runway improvements that would allow them to fly in regional jets in and out of Farmington. And the FAA approved our plan. The engineers just came back and gave us the timeline. We're sitting at the doorstep of the FAA. We could very well have the runway improvements done by December of this year.
2019.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is
10 months away.
Right. Which is I don't know.
It's ahead of schedule, wasn't it?
2 years ahead of schedule.
What you're thinking.
So if that could happen, SkyWest, who signed a memo of understanding with us that if we got that stuff done, they would be flying out of here. This is big news.
So this would pave the way, forgive my saying that, for the resumption of commercial air service in and out of Farmington.
Correct.
Once these runway improvements are done, that's what has to happen first.
Correct. And there's a lot of people out there who make the comment to say, well, we really don't need to. We can go to Durango. But we do. We really need to. For the fact is that it makes the competition between us and Durango, it drives prices down. It makes it a competitive environment. And frankly, if we want to be a retirement community, we need to be able to fly into Farmington. That's what those families want. They want to be able to fly in here, be able to have their families fly in here. And I realize Durango's only 45 minutes away, and maybe we've been spoiled all these years, which is interesting because there's a lot of state legislators who still think that Farmington is spoiled up here because we have a beautiful college and we have a beautiful hospital, and which we do.
Right.
These are absolutely blessings to have in our communities because a lot of New Mexico communities don't. But you know what? We also have an airport with a tower that has been a training ground for Mesa Airlines, and we want to see those types of activities come back here. I mean, that's what it was built for.
Sure. Well, and of course you've got private aviation, and that's a great thing for them. But the commercial aviation certainly is an economic driver for any community that has it or doesn't have it.
Right.
And that's what you find.
That's exactly what we find.
And even if you got an airport 45 minutes away, it's still nice to have one in your town.
And we're not subsidizing that either. We didn't subsidize Great Lakes.
Right.
A lot of these regional airliners are being subsidized by the federal government. None who've operated here have been subsidized. So it's not at the expense of the taxpayers per se that those businesses here exist. They're existing in the free market in a place where they can make money, and this by their choice.
Well, that's exciting news. So we'll hope that happens in the next 10 months as you predict.
Well, that was the memo I got the other night.
Okay.
So breaking news.
Alrighty.
Don't hold my feet to the fire if next month it's different. But it's positive. It's a positive thing, and we're going to carry that forward.
Is moving in the right direction.
That's right.
And that's what needs to happen. So
correct.
Mayor, it's always a pleasure to catch you for just a moment to visit with you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful Friday morning in Farmington. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Very good. Have a good day, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for being here. Mayor Nate Duckett, Mayor of Farmington, my guest here on KSJE. And back with more in just a moment, everyone. Back with more coming up. The time is 8:50.
On March 5th, 1770,